All right, I want to bring you some exclusive news that I can bring you on the Victorian Commonwealth Games. Now, Victorian taxpayers, I understand, could be on the hook for up to $4.5 million of redundancy payments in the total cost of the government's decision to cancel the Commonwealth Games. Now, sources close to the negotiations between the government agency set up to run the Games and its exiting staff have told me that there's disagreement between an offer on the table for thousands of dollars in entitlement payouts. Now, in a memo to union members, the CPSU's Secretary Karen Batt says that the proposed package is inadequate and should be expanded. Now, Sky News Australia understands that up to 90 non-executive staff at Victoria 2026 may receive redundancy payments, I'm told, of up to $50,000 each. Now, that's equivalent to 4 weeks' pay plus entitlements. Executive officers of the Victoria 2026 organisation, overseen by the former COVID-19 commander in Victoria, Jerome Weimar, who you see on your screen there, well, they may receive greater payments, reflecting a notice period of up to 4 months. Now, when asked about the payments, a source close to the organising committee at the Victoria 26 agency has told Sky News that the committee's being wound up and staff will be made redundant in line with their contractual terms. Now, it's understood at least 4 senior members of the government, including Department of Jobs, Skills, Industry and Regions Department Secretary Tim Ader and Jerome Weimar, met as recent as Wednesday to discuss the decommissioning of the Victoria 2026 organisation and its treatment of its employees. Now, Victoria's Shadow Minister for the Commonwealth Games, David Southwick, has told me that the negotiations and potential payments, he believes they're only a small portion rather, of the amount that the government may need to pay for its decision. Mr Southwick told me what this highlights is more waste and mismanagement by the Andrews government. That's what David Southwick tells me. And it would be the tip of the iceberg in the contracts and payouts needed. And we're going to talk to John Prosciutto, the opposition leader, shortly as well about this. And we've also gone to the Victorian Premier's office for a response to this story. Now, the revelations come as Canada delivers another blow to the Commonwealth Games movement, with Alberta pulling the plug on its plans to bid for the 2030 event. Now, sources close to the negotiations between the Victorian government and the Commonwealth Games Federation over a cost to cancel the host agreement for the event, well, they've told me that Canada's decision may impact the cost to Victorian taxpayers because of the potential reputational damage caused by Victoria to the movement. Now, this is of interest because Alberta's Tourism and Sports Minister, Joseph Show, said in a statement provided to the BBC that the near $3 billion bill is, quote, a too high burden to bear. The quote there, in the case of the 2030 Games, the numbers didn't add up for our government to commit taxpayers' money. Now, it comes just weeks after Victoria walked away from its contract to host the Games in 2026, although that was for the same reason. Though Premier Daniel Andrews says the cost could be as high as $6 to $7 billion. And the financial blowout and the decision is going to be probed by 3 inquiries, including twin parliamentary inquiries in the Federal Senate and the Victorian Upper House, a select committee there. And that was after the State's Auditor-General confirmed that it had launched a financial audit of the withdrawal. The Legislative Council's Senate committee is due to provide an interim report next year before a final report in April 2025. That's 1 year before the next state election in 2026. It is expected that the committees and potentially the Auditor-General may probe the cost of staff redundancy payouts. So that breaking news there that we can reveal, a redundancy payout cost that may be payable by taxpayers of Victoria up to $4.5 billion, though I'm told by the organising committee, a source in the organising committee, yes, it's being wound up and staff will be made redundant in line with their contractual terms. So one to watch in the coming weeks.